Passive income, the holy grail of income for entrepreneurs. I'm gonna re-record the intro because there's actually nice sunlight right now. What's up guys, this is Frankie of The Money Resolution. I have been looking forward to making this video for a very long time. In this video, I meant to only cover something like 10 ideas for creating passive income in 2020, but I ended up covering something more like 15 to 20. So be sure to stick around until the end of the video because after the first 10, if you're not already inspired, I am gonna rattle off like 5 or 6 more. So let's get started. And what better place to start than let's talk about what passive income is and what it isn't. And I can tell you right off the bat, there is no such thing as just truly passive income. No matter what, earning passive income is going to require work, and honestly, sometimes a whole bunch of it. True passive income is a myth. There is no such thing as free money. This is not a video trying to help you get rich quick in any way, shape, or form. But the easiest way to describe, I think, what passive income is to say that the time that you put in does not equal the money out. So you make a disproportionate amount of money compared to the time and energy and sometimes money you might have to invest. But if you do it correctly, you do the work one time, and then the work that you put in is going to perpetually earn you income even while you sleep. I'm just hoping with this video to inspire you to try to create your first stream of passive income in 2020, because earning passive income can honestly be a game changer. This is what really got my wheels turning, thinking about, could I retire early? Could I make money while I sleep? And they say that the average millionaire has something like 7 streams of income, and if I had to guess, something like 5 or 6 of those are probably passive. And I wanna take you back to 2015, which is the first time I ever heard about passive income. We just finished a softball game and the team decided to go to a bar nearby, and I was waiting in line to order a drink, and I struck up a conversation with an older woman, and for some reason we started talking about what we do for a living. She told me that she's basically retired and doesn't do anything, so of course I was curious and asked a whole bunch of questions. It turns out what she did was she was selling ringtones through, I think, iTunes at the time, and people were downloading them every single day for $1 or so. She even pulled out her phone and showed me her conversions that day. And this was honestly mind-blowing, but I had no idea how to get started. So this is the video I really wish would have been out there for me when I was thinking about trying to generate my first stream of passive income. And if you're wondering who I am also the author of the book, The Money Resolution, and I will talk about this and creating one of these in just a moment. None of these are gonna be starting your own business or investing in real estate. I think those can take lots and lots of time, but I tried to think of things for this list that are, maybe a long weekend that you could really dedicate to this. There are things on this list that are 30 days, maybe 90 days to generate, and some of the things on this list might take you 1 to 2 years. Either way, I try to focus on things that don't cost a ton of money, so I would say these are accessible and definitely doable. And they're in no particular order, but these are my top 10 that I recommend if you're getting started with your first stream of passive income. So I hope you're excited. Hit that like button if you are. Be sure to subscribe if you want more content like this. I put out videos roughly once a week on all things personal finance, and let's jump right in. First up on this list is to write an ebook. Now, while right away you might shut this down and think, I don't have any writing skills or a topic to write about, it's actually a lot easier than you think. In fact, you could honestly outsource an entire book, the writing of it, to a ghostwriter, and there's a whole bunch of websites out there for you to do so. You can even put this under a pen name if you don't want to attach your personal name to it. And I'll take you back to the end of 2018 when I got started on my first book, and essentially I had just started writing. I didn't know what I was writing. I thought it was just going to be one long blog post, but I realized I was sitting on a lot of great information, and I wanted to find a way to get this information out there. So after doing some research, I figured out it's actually super easy to self-publish at Amazon. And after writing the book and going to submit this as an ebook, I found out Amazon actually bought CreateSpace, and this allows you to print the book on demand. That's how I ended up with a physical copy of the book. From there, you could actually take it a step further and record yourself reading the book and turn this into an audiobook. The little bonus tip here is even if you don't have your own book to read and sell as an audiobook, you can actually sign up to be a narrator and read other people's book, and they'll give you a cut of the profits. Again, if you're not a writer, another thing you could consider is reaching out to other self-published authors and see if they're interested in having you translate their book to a different language if you are bilingual or trilingual or fluent in another language. So using Kindle Direct Publishing, you could put just about anything out there as an ebook. It can be short, it can be long. I've even seen people publish notebooks that are blank with just lines in it. And those same people could take that same notebook and just turn it a different color and sell it as a different SKU. So get creative, explore Kindle Direct Publishing, see if you can create and sell an ebook, a physical book, or even an audiobook. I spent a lot of time on this one already, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. But if you would like to see a video on how I self-publish my book and how I advertise it, let me know in the comments down below. Next up is to get involved with affiliate links. This one you can once again do through Amazon using Amazon Associates. And if you don't know what affiliate links are, essentially what it is you recommend other people using your specific link to buy a certain product. And when they do, you get a kickback, a tiny, usually percentage of that sale when it happens. The cool thing is just about anyone can get started with this at Amazon Associates. So it's free to sign up for Amazon Associates. You just want to make sure that you have a strong social media following or a blog or a YouTube channel, for example, where you can direct people to buy the thing that you're talking about or that you recommend or you show in your video. So as an example, I will put an affiliate link for this water bottle thermo flask in the description down below. See how I did that? I thought it was gonna be easier than it was, so I signed up with Amazon Affiliates right when I put my book out and started my social channels. But I didn't have a strong enough following, and so after something like 90 days, Amazon reviewed my associate's account and decided to shut it down due to lack of traffic. It is really, really easy though to reapply in the future. So if you have any following on social media, a website, or a blog, you can just talk about the things that you love and the things that you recommend. And if anyone clicks on that link and makes a purchase of that item, or actually any other item within, I think, a 24-hour period, you get a tiny percentage of that sale. Even if, like me, after 90 days, they end up shutting down your account, you're gonna learn a ton just going through the process. Next is to create a digital product and sell it. By digital product, I mean something like a workbook or a template. I actually created a checklist of the 101 tips from my book, and I threw it up on Etsy, and I think it's for sale for something like $1. So I kind of just did it as a learning experience. If I did go on to make something like budgeting templates or notebooks, Etsy is a really, really good place to go. I was watching a passive income video and someone recommended this, and she actually showed her digital product on screen. So I'll put it up now. This is at goodgirlsgoneboss.com, and you can actually download a digital version of her bossed up personal budget workbook. You can see here $10. She just got a quick little splash page. She does have 3 5-star reviews, so it's really good to get reviews and testimonials if you want to launch a product like this. Another great way to do this is actually through teacherspayteachers.com. This was something I thought about doing back when I was a high school teacher. I worked so hard to create all these original templates and assignments and everything else, and I just thought, I really want to share this. Come to find out, you can actually get paid to share those things because there's other teachers out there that would love to use your original work. So that's just a little pro tip for any of you educators out there. Next up is to create an online course. I definitely have seen a shift where more and more people are getting their education online and foregoing college altogether and the debt that comes along with it. So there are lots of websites out there where you can take and upload a course. In fact, you can even take a course on how to create a course. Some of the examples of these websites are Udemy, Thinkific, Skillshare, Coursera, and probably lots more. I would highly recommend that you're an expert in this topic and definitely passionate about the topic as well. If you've watched previous videos, you'll know that this is actually something I'm working on this year. These can be a ton of work to put together. That's why I'm giving myself something like 10 months to put mine together. Don't buy this water bottle. It'll choke you. Okay, done choking. So I would equate putting a course together probably as challenging, if not more difficult, than putting together a book that you can sell on Amazon. The reason being is because you're gonna have to write just as much, you're gonna have to film yourself talking through your course, and in most cases, you're gonna wanna put together slides or perhaps additional downloads and PDFs that they can use to sort of work through the class. The cool thing though about courses is that you can actually sell these for quite a bit of money, and in some cases reap 100% of the sales if you do this correctly. So if you go through some of the big course sites, number one, there is gonna be a lot of competition on these sites. And number two, they're gonna take a percentage out of the gains. So if you wanna maximize your returns and create a course, one thing you might wanna consider is using something like ClickFunnels and creating this course and hosting it independently. Then you get almost 100% of the sales minus the fees you might have to pay to host the site. I'm not kidding when I say this. I have seen courses go for $1,000 up to $5,000. And again, at $1,000, all you need to do is sell 5 of these in a month. That's just slightly more than 1 a week to earn $5,000 passively. This could be a lot of work, but the returns could be exponential. Next up, number 5 is to sell stock photography or stock video. You can do these through sites like iStock and Shutterstock, or just a couple, but there's a whole bunch out there. And I'll tell you a quick story about a fail that I had trying to do this myself. I got really excited about the idea. I went through years of photos that I tracked down from a nice camera that I used to own. I spent all afternoon one day editing these photos. I uploaded them to the site, I did all the proper tags and everything else, and I put them off for submission, only to find out the next morning that every single one of them was rejected due to the lack of high resolution. The good news is most phones these days are actually quality enough that you can just use that to get started selling stock photography. If you want to take this a step further, I do feel like there's an even bigger opportunity when it comes to selling stock video. I mean, look at the B-roll I'm playing right now. I could certainly use better stock video on the channel. And in most cases, you're going to be able to sell the stock video for a little bit more than a photo. Going back to the rules, make sure that you do understand them because there are rules around having people in them, for example. So certainly I would get started with just scenic things, in your neighborhood or taking a lot of really good photos while traveling. But if you've got a group of friends, maybe get outside on the weekend, take photos of them doing random things, take video as well, maybe offer them a little cut of the gains. Either way, I think this is one of the easiest ones on this list to get started with. You might be able to even upload photos in just one weekend. Next up, number 6 on this list is pretty unique compared to all the others, and this is to become a moving billboard by wrapping your car with an advertisement. The most popular website that I can find in doing some quick research is Wrapify.com. And in most cases, it looks like you are gonna have to have a decent to nice car. You're also gonna have to have a pretty clean driving record. And essentially the way that it works is if there are advertisers in your area willing to pay to have you wrap your car, they will contact you, they will wrap the car for you, and for 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, however long the contract is, you will actually get paid by the mile. So if you're already spending an hour, 2 hours a day commuting, maybe this is a really, really good way to basically have this pay for the gas and the car maintenance. So again, do a little bit of research and see if wrapping your car might be an option in your neighborhood. Next up, number 7 is savings account or credit card churning. So essentially what this is there are certain banks out there that will actually pay you to switch from your current bank to bank with them. I got one in the mail the other day from Chase. It was something like $300. I did look into all the fine print though, so definitely make sure you do this. Typically, you're gonna have to have a minimum amount in that account for a certain amount of days. But if you've got some extra cash laying around and don't mind opening an account with a new bank, you might be able to do so, set it and forget it, and earn some additional cash, then take it out as soon as the promotion period has ended. Credit card churning is extremely similar, and the idea with credit card churning is that you sign up for a promotion with a credit card, you meet the minimum to get the bonus points or the cash back, then you move on to the next one and do the same thing. Now, of course, this is gonna have an impact on your credit score, so be cautious when opening new credit cards, but this could be a really, really good way to earn some extra points or some cash back. An example is the Chase Sapphire Reserve used to do a 100,000 point sign-up bonus if you spent something like $4,000 within the first 3 months. Now, I missed that, but still getting $50,000 ends up being something like $650 cash if I spend it towards travel. There are lots and lots of videos and websites out there. The Points Guy is a website I recommend if you want to learn more about credit card churning. And for YouTube, Ask Sebi is a great channel as well. Next up, number 8, you have to spend money to make money in this case, but this is investing in dividend paying stocks and or index funds. And I won't dig into this too much, but the idea is that there are some stocks that you can own that will actually pay out in basically cash each quarter. Some examples that come to mind are, I think, Starbucks, McDonald's, Microsoft, Apple, Lowe's, I wanna say, 3M, GE, and You could just do a quick Google research. There are lots and lots out there. So even if you own an index fund that has hundreds, let's say, of dividend paying stocks, you are gonna get paid out in this case each quarter. And while it might just be something like a quarter or a couple of bucks here and there, that can really add up over time. So again, I'm not gonna get too much into the weeds here with investing in dividend paying stocks, but if you do wanna learn more, a YouTube channel I highly recommend is Andre Jick. He also does magic. Magic is cool. Next up, number 9 is to start and monetize a YouTube channel. This is another one that can certainly be a lot of work. I've been at this now for a little bit over a year. I think I've put out close to 50 videos. It took me that first year just to get to 100 subscribers. And this is after being really passionate about this topic and really consistent over that year. So what are the requirements to get monetized on YouTube? First off, you're gonna need to achieve at least 1,000 subscribers. This could take you years, or you can get really lucky with one really awesome video that gets picked up by the algorithm. The second requirement is that you're gonna have to have 4,000 watch hours, not minutes, but hours in the last 365 days at the time of applying. So if you apply, once you meet those requirements and you get approved, now you can turn on Google AdSense, and those are the ads that you see while watching videos. Definitely do your research if this is something you're thinking about. Don't expect to make a lot of money and don't expect to make money right away. But if you are passionate about it, get creative, put yourself out there, and get started. Even if you don't want to be on camera, and I totally understand that, you can actually just use royalty-free photography like these and just talk over it. I didn't start my YouTube channel because I'm hoping to make money. I am seriously passionate about spreading the good word of financial education. And I realized after putting out the book that YouTube is actually a better way to reach the audience I'm hoping to reach. So go into it with good intentions. Hope for the best, but definitely don't expect it. This is definitely something that the average person could get into and make a little side hustle money. And it can be a ton of work. This video, for example, between research and writing and filming and editing and uploading and everything else, creating the thumbnail, probably is gonna take me a good solid 20 hours if I had to guess. And if you appreciate 20 hours that went into this video, definitely a reminder to hit that like button. If you do it right and build an audience, you can recommend certain products or things that you feature in your video, like the camera. I use a Canon M50, and then what you can do is drop an affiliate link in the description down below. I also use a Video Rode Mic Pro, link to that also. And I edited this on a MacBook Pro 2018. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna link all this. Okay, number 10, and this one probably would have been number 1 like 5-10 years ago. This is to start a website or a blog. Now, if you blog about a topic that you're genuinely passionate about and you do this consistently over time and you build an audience, you can also turn on Google AdSense on your website. You could also include affiliate links. You could also include your YouTube videos. Oh, now that I think about it, you could technically also sell your digital product there or your course. So yeah, I think you're probably getting the point now. A lot of these things really do go together. One other thing you could do instead of just blogging, if you're not so into writing, is to just create a niche website. So a really good example I think I've talked about on the channel was done by Pat Flynn. He created Food Trucker, I think it's called .com. This was a niche website, even though he knew nothing about food trucks, he just knew it was a popular trending topic, and there wasn't a lot of good information in a central source out there on the web. So he just used this as sort of like a website aggregator of all the best information that would help other people getting started with food trucks. During the time that this was running, I'm sure he was making money from Google AdSense, but he did eventually, I think, just sell this website altogether. So that's another option, is to build a niche website on a topic that you know a lot about or don't, with the goal being to eventually sell that website. A more modern version of a website or blog is probably to start a podcast. Okay, I have a list of a whole bunch here that didn't make the video because, as you can see, this is already a pretty long video. Number 11 is to create and sell ringtones or just license your music. I would be someone that'd be willing to pay for background music for my videos. Number 12 is to create a digital game or app. Number 13 is to start a Patreon. So if you do have a personal brand and a core group of followers, they might be willing to pay for extra information from you or personal access. Number 14 is to fund an invention or a game using Kickstarter and then go out there and eventually sell that. This is something I actually really want to do, is to create a card game. I set myself a goal to do so and launch it this year, so stick around. We'll see if I do that. Number 15, you could list an extra room or space in your house on Airbnb. I've even seen people just fix up their garage and make it really, really nice and rent that out. You could actually operate a gumball machine in your neighborhood. This is a thing, people still do this. You could design and sell wallpaper backgrounds for computers and phones, so if you're really good at graphic design. And finally, you could just park your money in a high interest savings account. So with most big banks, your money is not even keeping up with inflation if you're only getting 0.02%, for example. And I did do a video on my channel where I talk about my favorite places to park your money to earn interest up to, let's say, 2%. That was a ton, as you can see, jam-packed of at least 15 different ways that you can earn passive income in 2020. Let me know if one of these super spoke to you, or if there's one of these you can definitely +1 and recommend. And I really hope that you feel inspired after watching this to get to work, because once again, there is no such thing as money for free. You are gonna have to do some work to generate some of these income sources, and maybe even a lot of work. If, on the other hand, you would rather just trade your time for money, let me know and I'll put together a video on all my favorite ways to trade time for money in 2020 and beyond. If you are able to achieve passive income, I will say that most people do find it addicting. Remember this video, and I hope that you'll come back and check it out again in the future. Once again, my name is Frankie. This is The Money Resolution. I super appreciate all of you that actually got to the very end of the video. If you did, be sure to tap that like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Oh yeah, I also put together a video of 21 different ways you can make money online. So if you want to see that, tap here. If you're watching this on a TV, that might not be there, and this is super awkward. Okay, bye.